In this lesson, we are going to see that solid state, and in this video, we are going to see that specially classification of solids. So, learning objectives. First, describe the general characteristics of solids. Then, distinguish the amorphous and crystalline solids. So, describe the general characteristics means regarding the solid's property, and then whether the solid is having very hard or very soft. So, introduction. The matter may exist in three different physical states, namely solid, liquid, and gaseous. You are all known very well about this matters. Okay, this is that solid, liquid, gas. See, here the solid is there. The solid is a regular arrangement of atom. This is rigid, fixed shape, and fixed volume. But liquid is not like that. This is a non-rigid, so no fixed shape and no fixed volume. The gas you are all known, not rigid and no fixed shape and no fixed volume. But you can see this liquid and solid is having a fixed volume, but the gas is not having a fixed volume. So what are the general characteristics? How we are going to give the name? This is solid means we are having a certain agenda or rules. That rules will be exist. The part or particles is having a solid property. First one. This is important fundamental one. Solid having a definite volume and shape. Solids are rigid on non and incompressible. Rigid means very hard. Then solids having a strong cohesive forces. Cohesive forces is nothing but within the molecule the atoms are very held forces is there. That is called a van der Waals force. We can discuss related. Cohesive force is nothing but atom to atom between the attraction is called cohesive forces. The fourth one, solids have a short interatomic and ionic or molecular distance. So depends upon the size of the atom, size of the solids, the interatomic distance will be increased and decreasing. So fifth one, there is a constitutions, atoms or ions or molecules have fixed position and can only oscillate about their mean position. Mean position is the original position. Oscillate position means we can give the support, we can give the energy to move the one place to another place. That is called oscillate. Okay. Then we are going to classify the solid depends upon their own characters. First, see that classification of solid. We are going to classify it into two types. One is crystalline solid, another one is amorphous solid. You can understand crystalline solid is nothing but your sugar, your salt is having a crystalline solid. See, the amorphous solid is nothing but glass and rubber. So amorphous solid is don't have the perfect shape and perfect density, but crystalline solids is having a perfect shape and density. Okay, the ionic crystals example sodium chloride and potassium chloride. Covalent crystal example diamond and silicon dioxide. Molecular crystal example naphthalene, anthracene, glucose. Metallic crystal example all metallic elements example sodium, magnesium, copper, aluminium, gold, etc. Atomic size, the boson element of the group 18. Boson group element 18 is nothing but inert group compounds. Atomic size will be depends upon the constitution of an atom. The atomic size will be increasing. Then classify solid into two major categories. First one is crystalline, second one is amorphous. Crystalline solid and amorphous solid, I'll give the explanation. Crystalline is a regular and repeated interval arrangement, but amorphous solid is not like it is a random arrangement. Easily you can understand the crystalline solid is nothing but regular interval and unidirectional arrangement, but the amorphous is not like that, is a random arrangement. Then crystalline solid. Crystalline solid, amorphous material defined as a solid does not possess a definite structure. Sharp melting points and constituents like atoms, ion, molecule do not form a order arrangement. Okay, crystalline solid is having a perfect arrangement. Amorphous solids. Amorphous solid materials define many characteristics of crystalline such as a shape, rigidity and hardness, but do not order arrangement of the melting gradually over the temperature. So in crystalline solid is having a definite shape and temperature and short melting points. In amorphous solids also having a short melting points but does not having a definite shape and structure. That is not rigid also because amorphous is easily breakable. Take a rubber, you can breakable, we can crush it very easily. You take a crystalline solids of sugar or a salt, you cannot able to crush in our hands. Difference between the crystalline and amorphous solids. So crystalline amorphous solid, the long range order arrangement of constitution. I shown a figure later already. That is a long range order arrangement. This is nothing but here you see that fruit shop in your vendors, street vendors is that fruit seller will be arranging arranging the fruits. Example is apple. Very uniquely, the certain gaps and arrangement is there. So like that, the crystalline solid will be arranged. Amorphous solid is not like that. This is short range random arrangement. The crystalline solid is having a definite shape, but amorphous solid is having a irregular shapes. Crystalline solids are anisotropic in nature. Anisotropic is nothing but is equal to the arrangement of atom. Okay, is a isotropic like a liquid. Like a liquid means that random arrangement. Okay, this is a true solid. The true solid is nothing but we can see our naked eyes that is having a perfect shape. This is a true solid. True solid is nothing but this contains a uh, perfect shape and perfect arrangement, but they are considered as a pseudo solids or super cooled solid. Whether we are heating, that is making another shape, while we are cooling, that is making a different shape. The which of depends upon the container, that is called pseudo solids. Okay, or super cooled solids, super cooled liquids. Definite heat of fusion. Definite heat of fusion is nothing but sharp melting point and boiling point and freezing point is there. But this that heat of fusion is not definite. Depends upon the cohesive forces that heat of fusion will be varied. Example, take a rubber. Normal rubber is having a one type of melting point, but the mixed rubber is another mixed composition is there means that is having a different melting points. Is having a sharp melting points gradually soften. You observe this is a, you can assume this is a rubber. Okay, gradually soften over a range of temperature and so can be molded. This rubber we can mold any form of shapes. Example, sodium chloride diamonds, a perfect shape. So rubber, plastic and glasses. This is important question for in your section. Then, and I said already the anisotropy and isotropy explanation. Isotropy means uniformity in all the directions. See, uniformity in all the directions, but the anisotropy is not like that. This also only one can be uniformly arranged. You can see any one of uniform is there, nothing is there. But here isotropy is a uniform arrangement in all the direction. The crystalline solid are anisotropic. They are the different values of physical properties when they measured along the different directions. So this direction this giving a different property. This direction this anisotropic crystal will be giving a different property. But in isotropic crystal is giving a all the direction to the all same property. The classification of solids. The classification of solid is depends upon the crystalline structure. So molecular crystal, ionic crystal, network crystal, metallic crystal. Then molecular cluster is again is going to distribute in three types. One is non-polar, polar and hydrogen bonded. Ionic solids. This is ionic solid. The most common example for ionic solid is sodium chloride. This sodium is a regular arrangement, repeated arrangement. See, this is chloride because chlorine ion is big than comparatively sodium. So only mentioning here, sodium is small, chlorine is big. See, one chlorine is there means one sodium. One sodium is there means one chlorine. The arrangement also, all the directions should be unique and all the direction will be giving a same property. The covalent crystal. The covalent crystal is nothing but the diamond is the best example for your covalent crystals. The diamond is having a property of all the direction is same property. So only we said diamond is a covalent crystal. Covalent solids are constituents atoms bounded together three-dimensional network entirely. So only I said this is a three-dimensional network. See, this is a tetrahedral carbon. This carbon is containing another tetrahedral position. This carbon is containing another tetrahedral position. This, like that, the tetrahedral will be going a certain way. That is called a three-dimensional network entirely by the covalent bond. So all the bonds should be a covalent. Example is a diamond. Such covalent network crystals are very hard and have a high melting point to melt. Okay, it's having a high melting point to melt, but the covalent characters is having a property is low electrical and thermal conductivity. The ionic solid is having a high electrical and thermal conductivity because this network is differ. This network is differ. Metallic solids. Metallic solids is how the metallic solids is happening means held together by the weak van der Waals forces. All the solids is having a property of van der Waals forces, especially the non-polar molecule solids. See, atom is a plus is going to surrounded by the minus. This minus to plus force is called van der Waals forces. This minus to plus is called a van der Waals forces. This plus to minus is called a van der Waals forces. This minus to this plus is also having a van der Waals forces. So only ionic solid is simply say a non-polar molecular solids. Non-polar molecular solids. Non-polar molecular solids. Depression forces or London forces. Diffraction forces or London forces. See, they have low melting points and they are usually liquids or gaseous at room temperature. Example, naphthalene and anthracene. Example, naphthalene and anthracene. So, liquid as a room temperature, naphthalene and anthracene is one of the aromatic compound. You need not to worry about this one. You take any fuels also. Our petrol and gas is also having a property of non-polar molecular solids. But polar molecular solids, they constituents or molecules formed by the polar covalent bond. Polar covalent bond. Polar covalent bond is nothing but when one end of the molecule is slightly positive and the one end of the molecule will having a slightly negative. See, this best example is a water molecule. Oxygen is having a minus charge, but this hydrogen is having a plus charge. These types of polar molecules very easily to dissolve in water is making a very strong dipole-dipole interaction. They have higher melting points than the non-polar molecular solids. Okay. So example, higher melting points is water melting points is 100 degree, but the water molecule attached with any other molecules means you need to supply a little more energy to remove all the systems. Okay. Carbon dioxide and ammonia is one of the polar molecules. The metallic solids. Metallic solids is nothing but in a metallic solids the lattice points and the occupied by the positive metals. Positive metal ions and a cloud of electron pervades the phases. See, this is a lactic phase. This is a lactic phase. This is a ionic phase. So valence electron or delocalized free floating. Valence electron or delocalizing the free floating throughout the entire solid C of the electron. This is a C of the electron. C of the electron is the electron moving like this. The electron moving like this. So only C of electron. From the crystalline structures, properties excellent conductors of heat and electricity, malleable and ductileable. Malleable and ductileable means you can easily making another shapes and twisting and breaking is happening very easily. This example is iron molecules. So very hardness and high melting points. Example, copper, iron, zinc, gold, aluminium, copper. These are the best example for the silver. These are the very beautiful example for the metallic solids. Is making another type of making a wire, making a diol, making a section. Okay, a simple metals we can making a different types of product. The general characteristics of solids. So recap is nothing but first you can understand the general characteristics of solids. Second, classification of solids, difference between the crystalline and amorphous solids. The fourth one, classification of crystalline solids, and then definition with examples. This class assessment, draw the structure of all the solids. Okay, then and similarity the difference of the solids. See the similarity and difference of the solids. These are the different types of solids. You can go through this video. You can draw a solids because the practice is important while we're writing examinations. Thank you.